Wow, this house is cute. But can I really get in the game in this economy? I do have savings, and I am responsible-ish. Ugh, I should bury it. I'm being wild. But what if I'm not being wild, though? Could I actually score a...
Kick off your home buying journey with Zillow's new buyability tool. It makes it easy to find out what you can afford, so you can get off the bench and onto the playing field with confidence. Check your buyability, only on Zillow.
Holiday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength, Holiday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner, by knockout, is Holiday. Holiday, bring it on.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day, and that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
If you not survive the fight, I don't think so you're gonna improve your Hello, I'm your host, Les Bubka. Welcome to Anxious Black Belt, a podcast that focuses on karate, mental health, and everything in between. If you enjoy our content and would like to support us, best way to do that is to listen to another episode, share it with your friends, and leave us a review. All this stuff helps the mysterious algorithm to introduce our podcast to new audience. Thank you for joining me, and let's listen to the episode. Hi guys, so today is something which is very close to my heart, and it was bothering me for a long time. When I started a martial arts, karate in particular, it always bothered me when I entered the competition, displays. Later on, when I published the books, I'm doing courses, doing seminars, and so on. And it's a kind of a psychology of the combat and overcoming a fear and building the self-esteem. So as we know, martial arts is not only a physical activity, it also builds a character and helps with a mental health to overcome fears and challenges and setbacks, failures, and so on. Obviously, it builds your body as well if you've got a good instructor and you're putting the work in, but it also can build your resilience as well if you've got a good instructor and somebody who can guide you and give you that transformation where you are coming out of your shell, you getting a much more comfortable person and kind of have that mental toughness and increased self-esteem in every daily life. Fear, as we know, fear is a natural response to the unknown. We're all afraid of the things we don't know. Usually our mind makes it worse than it is. And in martial arts, it's no difference. And it often manifests as of a fear of getting hit or getting injured, fear of looking foolish or failing. This was the most part that impacted me. The fear of being judged and laughed at was something that was holding me for a very, very long time. And as well, a fear of letting the coaches down and teammates and myself as well. So if you're went on the competitions, I always not only feared that people gonna laugh at me because I'm gonna be rubbish in fighting, I'm gonna lose, but as well the coach will not be very happy because I let the team down and we didn't score as many points as we could, or didn't get any medals, or I didn't perform as well, and putting on myself as well that disappointment because I didn't perform as I wanted to. But mostly it was the things that hold it me in because of my thoughts inside. And so I thought I'm going to break down a kind of what's behind that fear. And as we know, the amygdala, a part of the brain responsible for processing fear, triggers a flight, freeze, or fight response in all of us. Now I came across that can't remember the name. It's that FF as well, but it's pleasing people. So it's especially prevalent in women who've been conditioned, and they will be trying to please the attacker or somebody that causing that stress. And the martial arts training helps regulate this response through the exposure. So more you're doing things, the less of a adrenaline response you had to the stressors. You getting accustomed to it. You can kind of work with the adrenaline instead of being paralyzed by it. But the only way to practice this stuff is to be exposed to it. So, if you gonna go for competition, you try to replicate it as much as possible in a dojo. You might have a people gather around and you do the sparring with your teammates and people watching you, so you're getting used to it, to the fear of people watching you. Sparring, obviously, as much as you can, gives you that stress that somebody is actually trying to take your head off or submit you. So you've got that adrenaline rush going in, but the only way to get used to it, to a huge adrenaline dump that this competition causes, is to actually step into the mats, ring, or cage and try to compete. Of course, you can lose at the very first stages, then you're gonna overcome that fear. You're gonna be more confident, and it's gonna be easier to win and perform under that stress. Some people call it an exposure therapy. So regular sparring builds the tolerance to a stress, like I said just before, making it easier to handle. And it builds confidence through the action. Every time a fighter enters the ring and survives the experience, it's very, very, very dramatic word, survives, goes through it. If you not survive the fight, I don't think so. You're gonna improve your resilience and toughness because you'll be dead. But every time when you go out from the sparring match, you build confidence in your abilities. You learn from it. You're building yourself up. You can work on your emotions, work on your techniques, work on that things that went not so well. So it's just have to be submerged in that environment and do the stuff that are very uncomfortable. And by doing those uncomfortable things, you're building up the resilience, and it that transfer later into life as well. So for me, when I was competing, I haven't very much of success on the beginning because, like I said, it was my mental state. I was keep putting myself down, and every time I was going out into competition, I sabotage myself and convince myself that oh, he was better. Judges was against me. I wasn't training hard enough, or I had a bad day. I didn't feel very well in the morning, or some other nonsense that my head was pushing through. So before I stepped on the mats, I already had the excuses ready, and it just didn't help at all. So my belief is that I've been deliberately pushing myself towards being a loser, and I conditioned myself to it. I only get rid of that much later. So when I thought I retired from the competition, I kind of noticed the change in my mindset and started to believe in myself. So I returned to a sporting just to test myself, but being an older person with more mature psyche and experience of teaching publicly, speaking publicly through my books, promotions, I realized that and the power of mind is much stronger than I thought. And as much as I can talk myself out from things, I can talk myself in things. So since then, I always managed to place on a podium, grab some medals, and win the fights comfortably and never get injured. And people haven't been laughing at me, which is a very positive outcome. That is a supporting me into trying new things and getting rid of that fear of being judged. And the publishing the book, The Anxious Black Belt, was super eye-opening. And as much as I thought it's gonna be a failure, it was a huge success. It still sells very well, and helping a lot of people. So doing things that are challenging, it helps us grow and develop. And if you go and you lose there, you just building your ego, helping to feel that more confidence and build up on it, and as well keep you in check, right? If you're always winning, then your ego can grow unhealthy, and it's nice to step out there and be put in your place and learn from it and overcome that barrier of, when you're overconfident as well, you are vulnerable to lose because you don't see everything and you're getting very focused on yourself and just putting your mind into it and not observing what's happening, and sometimes that backfires, and life brings you down and gives you a lesson that can make you a little bit modest and more focused on your progression instead of on your successes and stuff like that. And as well, life in a dojo is not an easy stuff. You go in there and motivate yourself to going every day. It just it's a hard thing to do. And I heard a quote from my friend Marek from Poland. There's two types of people in martial arts: those who gave up and those who keep fighting. And keep fighting for 30 years. It is a achievement and needs to be celebrated, and you should be proud of yourself no matter how long it takes you. For me, it's 30 years, and I'm getting up from that sofa and going into the training and do hard stuff. It's getting harder and harder. The recovery is harder. The speed is not the same. I'm not noticing things that I used to notice. My students beating me up now. So it is a hard mental challenge, but only to going into those environments where you are uncomfortable, you are challenged, that sparks up the growth, and it's just overcoming those barriers and obstacles makes you more resilient and pushes you towards the goals and helps you to overcome things outside of the dojo as well. We just started our karate for mental health CIC, and not everything goes as smooth as I would like to, but because I've got that karate background and I'm pushing myself towards the goals, or going obstacles and working around and not giving up, and just have to redo a few projects because I could find thousands of excuses, but I didn't make a worthy enough proposal. It was refused, so get back to the drawing board and trying to rewrite it, make it better. But there's other opportunities that because of those failures come up and not materialize yet, but they will be explored, and hopefully we're gonna get some more stuff for the company where we can help other people's. And speaking of which, if you would like to help us with no cost for you, we've got the easy funding page. I'm going to put the link down below where you can do shopping through that app or a website. Gives you reminders, and then the shops and sellers give us a little donation without charging you. So it is a very good way for supporting our projects, where we can provide free classes for people around Guildford who might be suffering with mental health or physical disabilities. So if you're interested in something like that, that support would be lovely if you can go through that app. It's called Easy Funding. Link is down below. And we can help more people come to the dojo and overcome their fears. We started it. We've got 15 people at the moment coming. Spoke with few people who've been very stressed prior to the sessions and coming into our dojo, because it is something very stressful coming into an unknown. Martial arts are hard, people beating each other and so on. So I understand how hard it is, but when they step in, they do training with us, they hit the pads, they all said they feel better. So there is a huge benefit of that. Entering the challenging situation, challenging place, working with that adrenaline, being coached by a valuable person and good person, and channel that adrenaline into something positive, and with time, people building themselves up, they can implement what they learn in the dojo outside, not only for the self-defense purposes, but as well for achieving their goals. And we've got quite a few students who started with us training, and they didn't see the future for themselves. Now, happily, they've got the jobs, they're returning to the normal life. I'm not claiming it's because of martial arts. It's through the therapy, hard work, but I'm hoping that the martial arts help in a little way to help them overcome those challenges and have a focus on the life, and going back to functioning within the society and achieving their goals. And it's lovely to see people getting back on their feet and coming back to the training and sharing with us their achievements and their little goals that they can tick. And it is very valuable to have that perspective, looking back what goals you set up and what have you achieved. And this is one of the reasons I wrote or published the Karate Journal and martial arts notebook, that people can track their little goals and achievements and tick it, right? In martial arts, we have a clear indication of your progression with the color belt. When you pass the belt, and you can have a look back and see, oh, I was a white belt, I couldn't do the break fall. Now I'm a yellow belt, I can do break falls forwards, backwards, sideways. I came to the dojo, I didn't know how to hit the pads. Now I'm a green belt, I can kick and do combinations and things that I never thought I can do. So you've got that kind of look back, and you can see what was what, and how much you progressed, and how many achievements along the way you had, how many challenges you overcome. In life, it's not so clear. So using the notebooks and mood tracker, you can see how the martial arts impacted you, and you can write yourself a note in there. This is I'm challenging, and it can be used also not only for martial arts, but on planning your life in general. It's got a nice short, medium and long goals that you can fill up and so on. So if you're interested, there is a link above and in the description below. But going back to the fear and stuff, so like I said, for me, it was a really, really difficult thing to be judged, and I kind of still sometimes struggle with it, especially when I'm doing something challenging. And in front of the people who I don't know, it kicks in sometimes, and I have to get a few deep breaths, get myself reset, remember that people don't care about what I do too much, because I can't remember who said that, but somebody said to me that I am the second plan actor in their life. So they're focusing about themselves, just like I'm focusing mostly about myself, and everything else in the background. You've got the first players, so your family, you've got the second players, your friends, and then it's everybody else in the background, so you don't pay attention, right? And I learned through the years that I don't see people as a competition. I don't get jealous about people's achievements. I support ventures. I like to learn from them. Many of my friends who are doing the similar thing as I do, they teach martial arts for living. They teach the seminars abroad. They do the workshops, create books and stuff like that. Are much more successful than I am, and I can only look and be inspired by them and thinking, wow, they done it this way. I'm gonna try to do it a little bit better, and growing and slowly it's getting there, right? I'm getting more popular than I've been last year, so I can look back and say, okay, so this is what I'm doing, it working. I can build up. I can have a look what my friends doing, learn from them, bring it into what I do, and grow a little bit. And again, just in like martial arts, I can look back and see on my business journey or a coaching journey, and I can see clear steps when there were challenging times when I was in a despair. It's not working. I'm never gonna be successful. Nobody's gonna be coming for my seminars. But it growth, right? I can look now 5 years ago how it was and compare to it now. 5 years ago, I had 3-4 seminars a year. Now I've got 13 left this year to do. It's March now, and I've still got 13, and there's a few more conversation about next ones, but not to brag about me, but to just try to motivate you to put the effort in there, challenge yourself with those uncomfortable situations, and use martial arts as a tool to build up your self-esteem, self-worth, and go there and grab the life and achieve your goals. Because if you put the effort in it, just like in martial arts, it will happen, right? You just need to go step by step, slowly. Don't get excited. Don't get too desperate or too lost the word, too negative about things that are happening to you. Life got its own kind of rhythm, and sometimes going up, sometimes going down. But if you put the effort in, I'm quite positive that it's going to be successful. It might not be the path you chosen, and here's a good example again from my life. I was thinking that I mostly will be working with karate for the local council. This is what I was aspiring. This is what I was promoting, and I end up having a contract for doing a physical exercises classes with elastic bands. Luckily, I am qualified a personal trainer and group trainer as well, instructor, so I can jump from that, right? But I wouldn't be a PT and an instructor if I wouldn't doing karate. So I'm just collecting stuff on the way and trying to get the opportunities. I had the opportunity to do the personal training course. I jump on it. It wasn't something that I really wanted to do, being a successful personal trainer, but I wanted to have the knowledge of kind of a sporting side of the things and coaching stuff to improve my ability to teach people, and that's now presented itself as an opportunity to do a quite interesting job. I'm working with the group that I like the most, the elderly, and I'm helping them through my karate and through my personal training qualification. That's all is kind of intertwined, and it's helping me in my club and helping me with work, and you just never know where the life's gonna take you, but you have to commit to something and overcome those initial obstacles, challenges, and believe in yourself, and use that martial arts to channel your energy to become more confident and have better self-esteem and self-belief. And I'm sure that you're gonna go and reach the stars and achieve the goals you want. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support. And if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best until the next one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.